Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center. Now, on Friday, David spoke of his experiencing a first day as never before. And now I am feeling that we are in another first day of newness, being introduced to what will be the start of a never ending expansion of the Advancement Center in the world of magic and miracles. So, welcome to this auspicious day. I will have the honor of inaugurating this new program today by inviting a guest to share this experience with me. As a matter of fact, Lori Lentz is backstage at this moment, waiting for her cue to join me here on center stage. Now, yesterday, David and I visited Lori electronically in her living room in Minneapolis. We made suggestions regarding the lighting and making her totally comfortable with this fabulous platform that allows us to share our worlds seamlessly. Lori was absolutely delighted when she discovered that she will be given a link to send to all her friends and family with whom she would love to share this experience. Now, if you were with us last Sunday, you saw the painting that Lori sent to Robert and me. And a few weeks back, we had a surprise delivery of two mature rose bushes. One was a yellow tea rose and the other a beautiful red. Such a dear friend whom we had never really met until yesterday. And if you look past my left shoulder, David brought yellow and red roses. It's so perfect. Thank you, David. Now, beyond your mind's horizon awaits your limitless knowing. Did you know that these titles just feel like they are delivered to us? This past Wednesday, after Genya's broadcast, the four of us were having dinner and Robert began to speak. His words touched us deeply, and I was taken beyond my mind's horizon into a depth of understanding never before experienced. Yeah, never before experienced from beyond my mind's horizon. I was able to view the workings of my own mind, thus the title, which I experienced. That's it. Now, in case you didn't read my invitation, because so many of you see it, you know the drill, and thank you so much for purchasing this broadcast, either live or recording. We so appreciate it. But this is what the text read on the invitation. Hello, everyone. Beyond the blue horizon waits a beautiful day. This is a song that was popular all the way back in the 1930s. That's the last century. Wow. And continues to be a standard for choruses. I had the joy of singing that piece with my high school choir and the thrill of traveling with them on a European concert tour under the auspices of UNESCO, representing the youth of America. It is a happy song, upbeat, and brings smiles to everyone's face in every language. So, we were young, we were strong, and we were willing, and we traveled 10 countries in 8 weeks. We stayed at hostels, people's homes, sang in concert halls, and at the drop of a hat in a town square for the mayor. I remember a wonderful concert at the Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen. And I was invited by my Dutch mother in The Hague to spend a year with them rather than begin Ohio State University in Columbus, Ohio. This would have been a very different route to find Robert in Australia. Now, a quick look at Facebook this morning to acknowledge the many likes and loves for today's title. I came across some very interesting small bits of information. And the one that stood out for me is so determined is mind to retain control of life through the tools of reason and logic, it will negate miracles and argue away that which lies outside of its control. It will use the weapons of doubt, ridicule, and diversion. Give miracles the benefit of the doubt and give yourself permission to accept the impossible. Now, I don't know who wrote that, but they should definitely be a guest on this broadcast. Yeah. And then in large letters, I saw the sky isn't the limit, your belief system is. Oh, perfect. I think everyone's tuning in today. And then the one I love so much, and Edie posted, said, family isn't always, that's true. He knows what I'm going to say before I say it. Family isn't always blood, it's the people in your life who want you in theirs, the ones who accept you for who you are, the ones who would do anything to see you smile, and who love you no matter what. And that's why I call each and every one of you our true family. Now, in May of 2018, Simeon wrote these most appropriate words in a message. As we deliver words, we also deliver the energies to support you in the future, the energies to support your life in the immediate future and in the long future. And what you do for us is identical. And we are all looking into that future and having our own individual experience of how it's developing. It is not a common phase. Each one of us is enhancing the path of the other. And the plane is making his path right now. And with much joy and consideration, we look towards everyone and beckon you towards us as you beckon us towards you. There is no limit and there is no time scale. It's happening now. As we develop further, we will see one another in a different light. But for now, all we have to do is enjoy life and take it to where it needs to go with a smile in your heart and a joy that is never ending. And that was Simeon's invitation. And of course, We've heard this before, and I can't hear it enough. When Robert says, the whole view from our universal standpoint is about infinite trust. It's about total trust in yourself, not in others, but in yourself, your majesty, and your ability to give. And in giving more than anybody can handle, there is no disruption to your field or theirs. And so the interaction with people is something of great honor, of great respect, with an intimate knowing from your creator, an intimate knowing of yourself, of the world you're creating, and of the intention that we each have for the well-being of one another. I think at this point, I would like to bring Lori to center stage. Can you do that? Hi, Lori.
Hi, Barbara. What a beautiful introduction.
Yes, this is marvelous.
Oh, thank you so much for inviting me. It's such a wonderful opportunity and an honor. I'm so grateful to be here. Thank you.
Well, thank you for being our first guest. And this is going to multiply, and we will be having a filled screen with people from all over the world, and you're the first.
Oh, what an honor. I'm excited. I'm just excited to get to meet other people that are listening as well, and other like minds. So.
That's right. Now, isn't this funny? Because before yesterday, I had no idea of what you look like, but it didn't matter because I knew your heart intimately. And do you see those red and yellow roses there?
I do.
Aren't they gorgeous?
They're just beautiful. That's so thoughtful.
Well, I don't know how it happened, but David picked it up and brought them in.
So, great. It's
and
fun.
Robert placed them so that you would be able to see them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, now I'm going to do what I usually do. Only there's no usually about this. But when I meet somebody brand new, and for all intents and purposes, you're brand new. How did you discover Robert Young?
Well, actually, I first met a couple different people, which included you, on Facebook. And then from there, I think we became friends, and you posted, announcements. And I actually started listening, I think, right away. And then also you made reference to a couple of other hosts also, because I know Robert was interviewed by a couple of other people. So I watched a couple of interviews, and
yeah,
it just really resonated with me. And I think, I don't know, you had me from there. From there, I think I've listened to ever since I started. So
that's beautiful.
Which has been about 2.5 years.
I think that is what we pick up when we meet someone, and we don't plan it, but we feel the resonance so deeply that we want to be friends. We want to know each other. And I remember we exchanged a few emails. And then, of course, last week I had the joy of sharing your painting.
Oh,
and you made me so happy when you thanked me for introducing you to, what is that, Art to Life?
Right. It's art, and then the numeral 2 to life. And you're the person that you sent me an invitation for it. And it's Nicholas Wilton. And it was, I don't know how long it went on for, but I believe you did it at the same time, took the class.
But you painted. I just recommended.
Actually, I think what I really liked about it was, I've been an artist my whole life, but I've never painted, but I've done a lot of other things. So It was actually just learning about a lot of design principles that I'd never heard before. So it was exciting to learn new things. And actually, he also had so there were a few classes during the week. I think there was a couple during the week. And then what he would do is people would send their artwork in, and then what he would do was put them into the computer and use the principles that he was teaching and rearrange their art. So you kind of had to use your imagination, but you really got a sense of it once he was physically doing it and taking somebody's art and making it better.
But he's also put art up on Facebook and invited other people for their feedback.
Right.
Have you seen that?
Yes, that was wonderful. There were so many amazing people that
Well, one of those
all over the
people,
world.
yeah, well, one of those people who gives the most beautiful feedback is a friend that I met while I was living in Hawaii, and her name is Dee Hostra. I think I could see it spelled, but I don't know how to say it. But at any rate, Dee lives in Minnesota.
Seriously?
And
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to put the two of you together because she is an artist, a beautiful artist, and she gave me my first art lessons in Hawaii.
Oh
And
my
then life happened, and she finds herself back in ice cold Minnesota. She speaks about all the time, but I see her comments on other people's art. And she has written me an extensive email saying, Barbara, you saved my life. I had nothing to look forward to. And now art to life has become my way of life.
Oh my gosh.
I will introduce you to Dee.
Thank you for sharing that. There's a huge arts community here. So she's in a good spot where there's a lot of support and a lot of different, really many different kinds of creative people, from clay to sculpture to,
yeah.
there's
And
a
when
lot.
you reach out to her,
That'd be awesome. I would love that.
that's my life.
That's
To put
awesome.
people together who love life.
You know, the other thing that I found on that page, on the Facebook page, was there were other artists that also had YouTube demonstrations, and then also shared a little bit about their experience working with Nicholas. And that actually was really, really important, because a lot of them were lifelong artists that had supported themselves with their art. So to see somebody at that stage learning new tools and information and sharing, it was a really rich opportunity to be able to just watch on YouTube and see people doing their thing and sharing. And
well, what I love is the tentative one who has gotten up all their gumption to allow people to see their first attempts, and then to see Dee saying, that's terrific, keep going. And so I thought, let's have that permeate the world.
That's awesome.
Let's have people discover their talents because they brought them in with them from their origin. And that's what this broadcast is all about, for people to remember and to acknowledge their own gifts and each other's. So how wonderful is that?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really.
Now,
and actually, I think the feedback's so helpful as well, like to have constructive.
Yeah. Now, Lori, I offer you the single stage, and I'll go backstage if you would like to have it all to yourself to speak to the world. Would you like that?
Oh, it makes me nervous. No, I'm all right visiting with you, but I'd be happy to share too if there's some.
Okay.
You know, I think the other thing was having the support too of all of you, knowing that you're there, and there's something about it that I don't know. It's like, what do you have to lose? Give it a try, you know? It's like, and play. I really like the play aspect, which really fit.
That's right.
So
Isn't this just like a play? And we get to rewrite it every day. We can have the outcome exactly the way we want it because
it's
we
true.
know we live in the world of magic and miracles.
It's true.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's totally wonderful. And I think just the awareness of from listening to having that awareness that it's there, just you become more and more aware of how prevalent it is in your life. I'm actually looking at an orchid that has blossoms on it, and I've never had an orchid blossom in my life. So
It's happening.
it's totally awesome.
Yeah.
This morning, I walk in a little park nearby, and there's huge sunflowers that always make me think of David. They're just gigantic. They're bigger than my head. And twice as tall as me. And then there's also a lot of zinnias. And this morning it was just covered with butterflies. I mean, there are as many butterflies as there were zinnias. And it just takes your breath away.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really magical.
So you also paint with words because I saw every one of those flowers
Did you?
as you spoke.
You know, it actually makes me think of my grandmother. I used to always plant zinnias because when I was a little girl, my grandmother always had zinnias in the garden. And
Ah,
there's just something magical about the garden, seeing a seed grow into a full-grown plant and produce seed again. So
well, isn't that the first miracle we can share with our children when they're tiny? And just plant a seed and watch it with them and be excited. So,
so much fun. It's
yeah,
really fun to be able to grow and nurture something and
yeah,
water and
yeah.
make sure it gets the sunlight.
And those early memories are so important. Just yesterday, I told Robert, I said, "Oh, I know why I love this geranium so much because they were on my front stoop in Brooklyn
Oh my gosh.
when I was tiny." So,
Oh, that's awesome.
see? So each one of us has a relationship with a flower that meant something to us. Yeah.
It's true, and it's so simple. Like it's just so simple. The beauty of a single flower. It's like it's it's breathtaking.
Yeah. You know, as I'm speaking to you right now, I'm saying, what took us so long? This is wonderful.
It is. It's awesome. And it
and,
actually was simple to do too, which is nice.
and as I sent the access out to many of our dear friends, I said, enjoy the broadcast and know that you too can be invited as a guest.
Oh, I'm
So I'm sure
excited.
there are a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, I want to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Lori looks like she's having so much fun. So,
Oh, that's great. We'll be able to talk to you in person and
that's right. Not only that, but do you know that this platform can host 6 different people?
oh my gosh.
And each one shows up in their own box like this. And then I said, well, if we put 2 in a box, we could get 12. So we're going to have to find bigger and better platforms.
Well, it's really exciting.
It's fun.
Yeah, I think it's wonderful.
It is. Let's see. I'm going to share this with you because now you can be there while I'm sharing.
Okay.
See what happens. There's no reason for you to go backstage. Let's see. If you remember David's invitation on Friday, he wrote, the Earth, solar systems, and universe are always moving forward. Maybe that was universes are always moving forward through the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. No protest required, just join the movement. And Simeon said, oh, many moons ago, like 4 years ago, The something that's being done in each one of you advancing, seeing there is another way and going for it. It's the intention of every supporting entity to come in a little closer so that people have the opportunity to feel that movement, to be excited just by the feeling of another's presence. And this will begin almost immediately. I think it has. So each time I speak, there will be another flavor, one that you can work with, one that's impossible to decipher, but totally comfortable in every part of your being. We have the resources to do everything, and it's not just what you want, it's better. We don't do anything without invitation, and we can speak through anyone at any time if they decide that's suitable. You will see a movement in lots of people, and you'll see the sense of aggression not just disappearing, not even not acceptable, but totally intolerable. This will be the result of the beautiful energies that flow in and around all of you from this point onward. Allow me to offer this gift and bring towards you not only everything you've ever wanted, but everything everyone has wanted. That's total comfort, and a smooth and brilliant life. Throughout the ages, many, many people have offered this, and many have been successful, but they couldn't reach all the people of the world. We now are in a position where we can reach all the people of the world through the amazing communication system that we've always had. Let me now send you that sense of love that comes from afar, that brings with it the family that you've always wanted. I thank you. I am Simeon. Lori, you have just added the magic to these words
Thank you.
with your expression of
Oh,
love.
Simeon, actually, in the last few days, I feel them more and more, and I have the funniest. He always gets me with something really, really silly when I'm being super serious.
Oh, that's, yeah, I've known that.
It's awesome. And oh, he cracks me up. It's such a gift.
You have the gift of Simeon in your life.
It's huge.
Yeah. Well, here's something else by Simeon, and I'm not going to let you go. I'm not going to let you go backstage.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
This
happy to
was
be here.
May 20th, 2015. As we listen to the chatter in the physical world, there is so much repetition that it's hard to say what comes next and what was heard before. As we listen this time, it's our intention to bring the energies to everyone that will make them stop the repetition and allow the newness of the beautiful energies of the universe to fill their being and maintain some form of attention to the things that are heading their way. Right now, there are many, many special beings throughout the world and throughout the universe who have focused on this time where it is most prudent for everyone to get the most out of life they possibly can. To look for an explanation is a waste of time, but we'll give you one so you don't have to look anymore. The reason the energies have been working diligently from all areas of the universe and from the earth itself is that it is time when all things converge into a random order that is the closest to perfection we have ever known. To be continued next Sunday. But this is just an amazing thing. And the title of it is Your Influence on the Earth. And you have a great deal of influence. So I'll put that over there. Wow. I don't think I'm going to let you go.
You get to see your audience. It's cool.
Well, there's nothing like it. And I've been on stage quite a bit speaking and singing, but when you make connection with someone in your audience, there's the magic. You feel it. You can almost see it and taste it. Yeah. Let's see what else we have here. I mean, I have so many wonderful things here. Oh, this I think is going to be a good one. All right. Robert wrote this just a few weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's great.
And we all know the importance of following your spirit. And last week I spoke about my son David. If I told him that now, he'd say, "Oh, Mom," but we know how important it is. So Robert wrote, as you follow your spirit and the random pattern that it displays, you will suddenly find yourself beyond the pull of your unrelenting physical program. This will happen on numerous occasions until the grip of those around you changes into an intense and real connection that contains everything that is new and beyond anything that you could possibly imagine, together with a feeling of contentment that tells you you are where you are supposed to be. The action of following your spirit encourages the realization of magic and miracles, and the instigation of simplicity as the driving force behind everything you do. There is nothing more that can be added to the explanation, and there will be no need to say much more along these lines as the flow takes over and starts to reveal the many small parts of the unknown that are ready to enhance your reality.
It's great.
Isn't that wonderful?
It's beautiful.
So if you'd like to relax and go to the green room, you're welcome, but you're more than welcome to stay center stage with me. And this next one, I've now come to the real favorite part of my broadcast every week, and that is when I read David's writings. And when I heard this on Friday, I said, oh my God, it's such an eye opener. So I'll share that with you now. Okay?
Thank
It's
you.
called The Layers of Awareness. Layers and layers of awareness existing throughout all humanity and all the universe. So many people are helping humanity regain its sovereignty through the gifts that they have. Each new day, a feeling arises in humankind. For some, it is a feeling of peace. For some, a feeling of healing. For some, a feeling of no more. For some, a feeling of joy. And for some, a feeling of celebration. The celebration that comes with the transformation of all that has been taken out of balance. Each feeling is responding to a level of awareness that is the reality from your world. This is so beautiful in its simplicity. No one can know their level of awareness, and yet everyone can know their level of awareness. In your connection with your Creator, your awareness is filled with a broad macroscopic view, an expanded big picture, far from the narrow view that shows up in the limited programmed mind. This level of awareness sees the big picture and the resolution of all that was created to seem unresolvable. There is no fear in this view, no blame, no judgment, and no reaction. In spite of the time required to gain this resolution in the physical world, this level of awareness only sees celebration. Because from this view, everything has already been resolved, and the only thing left to do is celebrate. Now, as we move down the funnel, the awareness becomes more reactionary. Like a racehorse wearing blinders, you lose sight of the beautiful flowers around the track, and all the other horses become your competition instead of a co celebrant, as recognized through the wider view of the Creator. Even as the awareness moves further down the narrowing funnel, know that each one is using their gifts to lift humanity. Here, though, arguments and debates become more prevalent because in such a narrow space, the anger and judgment that you feel from others doesn't escape, but like a trampoline, bounces right back, for there is no room to let it fly by you into the place that it is really meant to go. It is only able to bounce off of you and then bounce back, leaving you with the awareness of seeing disharmony in another and a desire to help them free themselves, while at the same time not having the awareness that you are contributing to that same disharmony. As you move up the funnel to the large opening that includes everything and everyone, you will find that the war is over, and the skirmishes that still might need resolving will be handled not with your old weapons, but with a new weapon called a smile. The smile that comes from above it all, the smile that comes from above it all, that no weapon can stand against, because in that smile is the Creator itself, and therefore it is the greatest power ever created. So continue to move through each layer and rise to the top and join the celebration as you view it all through the eyes of the Creator with the unflinching, infinite trust. Can't you see it?
It's amazing.
I almost see it as a very powerful animation. I see the funnel, I see the racehorse, It's amazing. Thank you, David. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Wow. Anytime you'd like to rest backstage, just let me know. Or are you enjoying being right here?
I'm fine, actually. It's I'm kind of like pinch me. I can't believe I'm here. It's so
Well,
great to be
I
here.
would say
Thank
you put you there. I would say you put you there.
thank
You put yourself there. Yeah.
you.
In fact, we put ourselves wherever we truly want to be. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. The other night, David and I were in the kitchen, and it was so much fun thinking of all the people we're going to invite. You know, we can invite Adrian from Scotland and Mohammed Khalid from somewhere in England and Lisa and anybody.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's get and you hear about people, and then now we'll actually have faces and more than just faces.
And we'll know each other.
It's wonderful. It's a
Yeah,
huge gift.
it is.
It's great.
And now I realize that as a little girl, this is exactly what I wanted to do for the world. All of a sudden, it just came to me. I said, why can't we all be friends? And this is making it happen.
Oh, it's awesome.
So,
Thank you.
yeah. There's one more that I really feel that I'd like to share. And you're welcome to stay exactly where you are.
Thank you.
Unless you have something to say before I read this.
No, actually, I was just thinking it's always such a treat to hear your tone and your voice and to hear it coming from you. And David's writing is so amazing. It's like just to be able to hear it again, and there's so many levels to it. It's like even like later on in the week or farther, it stays with you. And
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
thank you.
And the birds are with us here. I think they're responding. Well, this next one is very special. David has, okay, now you're going to have to listen. David has presented the most amazing gift to us from himself in declaration to the light. As each of us reveals this dedication, David offers you the light is here. The light has entered the world many, many times in many, many forms, hidden in a form that is oftentimes not recognizable, that may not be honored because of the countless amounts of standards that have been created around words like beauty, love, gentleness, and eloquence. The Bible stories speak in terms of these standards when speaking of Jesus, as do the stories of Buddha and many of the other masters. The images of these stories relate a feeling, but the misinterpretation of many of the stories create a standard that was never meant to be transmitted, to be in the field of this energy and essence. This light takes you back to every moment that it ever existed on this planet. No more perfect than any one of us, but assigned the task of lighting up the world with the truth that they were always given to see. As friends to this light, we share its joy and its burden. And so we laugh with the light and we cry with the light, even as it sits alone, seeing what only it can see, and generously brightening everyone and everything in its path. Only this light knows its path for itself, as it waits patiently for the shadows surrounding mankind to disappear. For thousands of years and longer, many have come to put the light out through both overt and subtle means. It's a part of the human entity that we all have participated in. By resisting the light, we try and put a blanket over its brightness, but in actuality, we only put the blanket over our own internal eyes, where the darkness is always hidden. Hidden in pride, self righteousness, and reaction. Never hidden from the light, but hidden from ourselves. And yet, the light returns and returns and returns again to shine a spotlight on our resistance until we can see for ourselves that the light is not our enemy, but our friend. And then the skies open and you become the light, having nothing in you separate from the light. You no longer can resist the gentle, loving wisdom that pours into every crack and crevice of all the universes ever created. I have seen this light with my physical eyes as it showed itself to me in a simple moment of love, and I felt every step of its journey through the lens of this physical being known as Barbara, and I will never be the same. May you see and feel that light in these words that I speak to you today, for it is that same light that is speaking to you right now. And may you travel through that journey that I spoke of, so that that light shines through you like the noonday sun. To the light, I say, thank you for coming. And thank you, Lori, for joining me. And thank you, everyone, for being with us on this broadcast today. We wish you perfect life, perfect health,
So,
and a magic future. Bye bye, Lori.
thank you. Bye bye.